I'll be filming one course per day. These courses will be free for now. They'll be launched on my YouTube chain. These courses, they basically take all the unconventional wisdom that I've been dropping this year and the past 10 as an entrepreneur. I just take my LinkedIn posts, which tend to be more on the professional edge, and I feed it to an AI, in that case Claude, and I ask Claude to create the best course possible. So it's filtered by an AI so that you're sure that you're getting valid models. You get my weird human edge as a successful entrepreneur, certainly an unconventional contrarian thinker, and you get an AI to filter that knowledge. So today I use Claude, and this course it's about mental models. I often talk about mental models. I have the great Charlie Munger on my phone, Poor Charlie's Almanac. I have Shane Parrish with Clear Thinking. That's certainly good. And yeah, we could say that Ryan Holiday with its latest book, Right Thing, right now is also talking about mental models. I test a lot of these mental models in business. I talk to a lot of people. I tend to scale things as an ultra athlete, which is one of my mental model that I'm going to discuss more today. But yeah, it's certainly worth testing some of these things, some of these mental models that you hear, and see if it works for you. The first mental model is one that I discussed recently. It's the Trojan horse principle. So what do I mean by Trojan horse? Not necessarily tricking out people into something, but it's definitely using a strategy, a covered carrot, which I'll also talk later on. Give it to them what they want, right? Like people always want something as an entree, and then give them the full meal later. It's maybe not what they ordered, but at least they give you the opportunity to serve them the main platter, and usually the main platter should be very impressive. So in that case, for example, that mental model, I'm not from Harvard, right? I haven't studied in Harvard, but I'm launching a bunch of campaigns, a bunch of podcasts that attract these Harvard alumni in the business school most predominantly. And I would never get a chance to meet with these people. Most come from money, right? Wealthy family. But because I organize a podcast that's centered around this existing community and follow up with a mastermind, some of them will accept to talk to me. And next thing they know, they're friends. They discover I make a lot of sense, that we share similar values, similar objectives. And that is a way to introduce communities that are very prestigious, and that if you associate yourself with these communities, you will gain a lot of money, a lot of power and knowledge, which is essential to accomplish your means nowadays. So that's the first mental model today. Think of how you can quickly access communities that are locked, gated communities. One of the top advice that I give to new startup founders is to attack markets that are already wealthy. Don't try to please, poor people. I started with realtors back then and never really worked out. Go directly after people that have cash. It's very important for you to secure cash at the beginning, and then once you have it, you can experiment and you can expand in other markets. For the same reason, I don't do B2C. I've also done B2C earlier, and yeah, I'm definitely B2B nowadays. The second mental model is the ultra marathon mindset. So, as some of you guys know, I'm an ultra runner. I'm an Ironman as well, and this mindset to scale things to their extreme and go for quantity rather than just like sprints is essential. With this mentality, guys, I could take ideas to an extreme and get the science out of them, get the scientific conclusion, right? Rather than just talking out of my ass like most do nowadays. I experiment stuff at scale. And it's the same with these mental models. They took me a lot of time to develop, they have a contrarian edge, right? Like you can't, I mean, I won't teach you stuff you already know, and you can't have a real impact in this market with this common knowledge, right? You need that edge, but you also need to be right, it's cool to go contrarian, but I mean, if you're wrong, you're wrong. And the truth will slap it in your face constantly. And if you're pursuing wealth, that means you'll stay poor for quite some time. So the ultra marathon mindset really allows me to go the distance, to test stuff at scale for my campaigns, my cold email campaigns. That means I'm going to send 20 to 30,000 emails every week, sometimes every day. And I will really test out some product vs one ICP, one market, for example. In that ultra marathon mindset, I bring it in all facets of my life. I bring it to my relationship, like this relationship of mine keeps paying off. Same for my business associates, right? Me, I'm not the type of guy to impress from day one and wow you out and then lie to you, and like three weeks later you discover that I'm a fucking crook. No, I'll just like deliver from day one. I'll deliver on day 100. I'll deliver on day 1,000, and this compounds, and that's how you win very big in business. Like short stints, people that go from 0 to 1, that are normally fueled by testosterone and stress, they don't go far. Um, so yeah, I very much advise going with the ultra marathon mindset and taking things step by step, being very patient, right? Not stressing out too much. Like I do favor short-term growth, and I'm quite explosive in some areas, but I won't like deplete myself of energy. I won't burn out, like I'm quite strategic about things, and that's an edge you can have as an entrepreneur. The third mental model is the experiment, analyze, and conclude cycle, which I've hinted to in the past comments. So basically, you want to treat everything in business and in life as a science experiment, right? You want to go to the gym and test out new workouts. You want to test out diets, and observe the effects on your body. Usually it starts with an hypothesis, right? Oh, this food is bloating me. Oh, this food is messing with my gut, or this behavior. Then you go into the actual experiment. You do the experiment, right? You eat the food. You analyze, okay, I ate only this food today, cheese, for example, and I felt that way right after. Not a lot of people do that, by the way. Then you conclude, usually the next day, right? Like with a different mind. Um, and you do that in all areas of your life. You can do it with some of your behaviors, some of your um, habits, right? Is this habit actually bringing me joy? Is it actually bringing me energy or not? And the more you do that, the more you conclude, the quicker you can advance in life, the happier you can be, the richer you can get. So this mental model is quite important. I think a lot of entrepreneurs and founders are rebels, and most of them dropped out of school or didn't have that scientific mindset. They're more on the abstract side of things, and I think that can help you scale very reliably. The fourth mental model is the Micro-Trust Accelerator. That's a simple one. You start small, and that is the mental model as well. Like an ultra athlete, they start small, right? They start with 1 kilometer, then 2, then 4, then 8, then 16, and eventually they get to 100, right? Well, it's the same with trust. Humans and trust go hand in hand. That's why we are here today, because we learn to trust one another, form tribes, and work together, right? Just that trust has eroded lately with politics, with crooks, and people that are lying to convince other of stuff they aren't. At scale, some very prominent people that are doing that and ruining the very fabric of trust. So people, as a result, in business, are mistrusting. They don't want to deal with someone new that might risk cheating them. I will also say that, yeah, like new entrepreneurs are more at risk of cheating because they don't have value. They don't have maturity yet. I've been certainly guilty of saying things that I didn't do back then. So it's not just these elderly crooks and oligarchs that are lying at scale. It's also like most entrepreneurs when they start. The point is, when you are in business, you need to generate micro trust transactions. So that might be send them a free lead funnel, a free lead magnet, right? Send them your newsletter, for example, send them value from the get go and generate value to them. And generally, these micro trust, these free products, quote unquote, will get them through your funnel, and then they can pay you $100, then $1,000, and $10,000. It needs to be progressive, right? So the Micro-Trust Accelerator, that's a very strong mental model that I use on a daily basis. It's also doing good, right? Like when you share value for free, people like that. The fifth one here, Scale Criterion. So the Scale Criterion, everything's about scale in my world. And related to the last point, like scale is, it's like climbing stairs, right? It's starting small and going for higher. It's also sacrificing short term for long term. I don't see a lot of people doing that nowadays. They're just going for long term, for short term gains. And yeah, we see that in people cheating, right? People going for the quick millions. Then they get sued, everyone's against them. Their whole reputation is burned. Um, Instead, go for scale. And that doesn't only mean in your action, like prioritizing health, for example, trying to be a good person, working on your mental model, surrounding yourselves with other good persons. It means investing in others, right? It means to be the person that you'd like to be around with. It means a bunch of things. Scale is about making the good decision right now. Decision that might take you more time right now, but will save you tons of times later on. For example, I stopped hiring humans some times ago, and I decided to code the systems to life instead of outsourcing in a lazy way to a human. So I decided to go for scale. Everything I do is scale. My YouTube channel, this video right now is scale. It's free. I'm not selling it right now. So I'm making the short term sacrifice so that things will pay off in the long term. The sixth mental model here is the flow state funnel. So flow state is something, in my case, that's achieved most of the time through biohacking. And that mental model is like seeing reality through different lens. My brain without caffeine and without oxygen in my blood through Wim Hof, for example, sport. My brain without saunas, without cold baths, it is dull, right? It's like, especially when I wake up, it's like it doesn't even know what to do. My brain, um, it doesn't think positively, doesn't see the opportunities, and flow states is really giving me new lens on this world. It's like adding color. So a lot of people that I see, they see the world in one shade, which is their reality. I mean, they might drink coffee, that might be their hack, but they're bloated, they have brain fog and so forth. And they're just missing out on this second reality, which is when you get in a flow state, you see the opportunity and everything. So it's quite important for you to get in that state through taking care of your brain, your body, your health, your mindset, how you think, how you act, and block time around your day so that you can get in that flow state, right? Like me, I start my day, for example, walking the dogs, running, biking with the dogs. Midday, I will probably go into my sauna here. I will go into a cold bath. And that gives me an immense edge, like just that gives me at least a 38% edge over pretty much any other entrepreneurs out there. There's not a lot that biohack. So understand that the world is probably not how you're seeing it. And if you biohack, you can get in an alternative state that can get you superior result. Mental model number 7 is the competitive savage awareness. So that one is just like yeah, if you're in my field, you're competing against a savage, like you're competing against someone that likely has a big edge over you, especially on the long term, right? So the more the time advances, the more I constrict. And that mental model is just giving you some motivation to get after it and stop being lazy. Because most of the time, as founders, we're competing in our lane, right? We're very isolated from the rest of the world. Um, we're in our own little bubble. And one thing that had me realize that was masterminding with my competition. And I understood that, yeah, some of them were really next level, right? And consuming their content and seeing the types of results they're getting. I mean, you need to filter out information, right? But understand that your competition is right next to you, or even worse, they're ahead of you, and you need to chase the fuck out of them. And I think that gives you energy at some point. And it's with all these little mental models that you start being a different version of you and operating better and getting the results that you want. The next one is the pain growth correlation. So, yeah, as an entrepreneur, you need to invite pain into your life. Most of the savagest entrepreneurs I know are masochistic. They invite pain to them through workouts, right? Like they don't waste their time doing some BDSM shit. Um, they have a pain reservoir. We all have a pain reservoir that we need to get down every day. Else, we're going to use it for stupid and unproductive means, right? Like lashing out on others and so forth, and being negative, right? We're very primal. So invite pain in your life, else it will sneak in and it will invite itself in some situations you don't want it to go, right? So, yeah, for example, today went to the gym. I could have taken my motocross, but I decided to run. So I'm also breaking patterns, which is another good mental model. And yeah, just going there was a bit tiring. I wasn't feeling too well, right? And that's a keyword here. If you're not feeling too well, you just fucking go. You don't wait. And yeah, I boxed at first, and then the sauna, they close it to clean it. So I had to go in the sauna first. The sauna was very hot. And then I went into the pool and did 50 laps. And then I came back in the long way running uphill. So, and that was, yeah, probably my second or third workout of the day. So I invite pain. And right now, yeah, under some pressure, right? Like buying a house, buying a car, and a bunch of things are happening. So it's good to let the steam out. The ninth mental model, the almost the last one, is to be AI augmented. So this video, the outline, it's been done by Claude, right? So Claude helped me with building this full video. I just uploaded a bunch of my LinkedIn posts to it, and yeah, Claude has built it for me. I'll have an AI do the chapters. I'll have another AI do some outreach, send this course for free to a bunch of people. So yeah, just be AI augmented. I won't spend much time on that one as it's pretty obvious, but just A/B test technology. And yeah, you might, if you're not using AI much, you might just be unaware, but it's gonna catch up to you. Um, I'm not sure if you're feeling it. The market is slow to catch up for sure, but yeah, people will catch up to your competition will, and you'll see market share vanish. The last mental model is the default trust model. So I've thought about this society that needs micro trust, right? And the erosion of trust. Well, I'm going to tell you to be trustful, default trust mode, right? You need to trust people. You need to be playing offense. You can't be playing defense, right? I mean, do your due diligence, right? Me, I do my due deal with an AI. I talk to a bunch of people, right? I have a bunch of models to test out theories. If I'm about to invest like 100K into something, yeah, sure, I'm gonna want to do my homework before pulling that trigger, because yeah, losing an opportunity like that would pain me. So that doesn't mean I'm distrustful and I'm like doubtful of every human. When you're an alpha, you also tend to push away these losers that are trying to scam you because you're really smart and you're successful. So I don't get scammed a lot. I haven't been in 10 years actually. I mean, I've been hacked. Some of my websites have been hacked, but yeah, very few times have I been fooled by people, you know. And I've always stayed true to myself, and I've stayed like with good intentions when I meet new people. I don't pollute my mind much with like this guy's a scammer. I had some of these folks on the bond. Some of them were real scammers actually. Um, and yeah, most of the time I just don't publish the pod because I don't want to encourage that. But yeah, like most of the time, yeah, I don't attract these types of beings, you know, like these have been 0.001% of my pod. So be trustful of others, you know, go forward with people, try out a lot of things, you know, do your due diligence, but be trustful. I see a lot of people, they're negative about everything, right? Oh, this is a scam. This is another scam. Bitcoin's a scam. Crypto's a scam. Everything's a scam to them. The result of that is that no one wants to hang around them and they miss pretty much every opportunity that's out there and they're resentful and sour. So the last mental model is the default trust. Trust people, give the benefit of the doubt, and is an expression in French that we have. Trust people and that will come back to you in big dividends. So we've covered 10 mental models today. Hope that you enjoy. If you want to comment on some of them or even add some of your own mental models, you let me know. This was a free course of 10 mental models that should serve entrepreneurs in a big way. I'll produce more of these courses, one per day. I want to turn most of them into books as well, books that I'll publish on Kindle. So I've set that challenge to me while swimming. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. So hope you'll find these beneficial. And yeah, I'm eager to